Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead, and today we're going to make mint chocolate swirl cookies. Okay, so for the first part we're going to make the chocolate cookie. We have 3/4 of a cup of cocoa, 1.5 cups of flour, to which a teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt have been added, 3/4 of a cup of softened butter, 1 egg, and 1 1/4 cups of sugar. I'm using raw cane sugar. All right, let's get started. First and foremost, of course, as always, we are going to put our butter in and our sugar, and we're going to get that creaming. We're going to add our egg. And we want this to whip until it's nice and fluffy, just a couple of minutes. And while that's whipping, we're going to sift together our flour, baking powder, salt, and cocoa, just so we don't have any uneven lumps. Now we're slowly going to add our cocoa flour mixture. Okay, this is well mixed. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to drop it into a BPA-free plastic freezer bag. And I'm just going to flatten the dough out in the bag, and then I'm just going to fold the end over and pop this in the fridge to chill for about an hour. All right, we'll be back in a second to do the mint cookie. Okay, what you're going to need for the mint part of the cookie is 1 cup of sugar, 3/4 of a cup of softened butter, 2 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, 1 egg, some pure mint extract, and your favorite green food coloring. All right, let's get started. Okay, as always, we're going to take our 3/4 of a cup of softened butter and our 1 cup of sugar, and we're going to start that creaming. Okay, now we're going to add our egg. I'm going to stop this for a second so that we can add our gel coloring. I'm just going to drop in just a drop because this is really thick stuff. And I forgot to mention, in the flour I put 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt. Let's see if we like this color. And to this, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of pure mint extract. Smells good too. All right, and now we're just going to start adding in our flour mixture. Beautiful. And again, we're just going to press it into the bag as flat as we can. And we're going to fold this over and pop this in the fridge to chill for an hour. Alrighty, now here is our 2 cookie doughs. And what I've done is, just before I put them in the fridge, sorry I didn't show you this, was while they were in this bag, I rolled them out with a rolling pin so that they would be roughly rectangular with the bag. So now, and I've made one slightly longer than the other because that's the one we're going to start with on the bottom. So now I'm just going to take the dough, and I'm going to take my knife here and I'm just going to cut the bag. Now if you really want a real minty flavor, folks, then go ahead and use 2 teaspoons of your mint extract. We're not huge on mint, so I used only 1. We're going to take our mint and we're very carefully going to start rolling the dough. And this placemat's going to actually help because it's going to allow me to roll the dough all at once without too much breakage. Mind you, it is breaking some, but we will see. And then I'm just going to hold this in and I'm going to roll just like that. And as it rolls, I'm going to very carefully pull it back a bit, and then I'm going to press with my hands, carefully washed of course as always, to fix any cracks in the dough. And we're going to continue to grab this end and push it forward, rolling it with our hand until you have the size you want. Now I think this is a nice cookie size, so I'm going to cut this off right here, and I'm going to lift this very gently onto my other placemat while I roll this. I'm going to take my placemat and I'm just going to do this until we have a nice log shape. I'm going to roll it a couple of times. I want to make sure I don't have much of a ridge there. But just roll it in your placemat. All right, let's cut some cookies. I maybe should have rolled these out just a little bit thinner because they really don't look like a spiral. Okay, what I did here was I did the chocolate on the outside, and the second batch that I cut off, I did the green on the outside. And what I did was I noticed I wasn't getting as much a spiral on the first batch. So what I did was when I laid these out on the placemat, I laid my plastic over top and I rolled them out longer so that I got more of a spiral. Now we're going to put these in the oven at 375 degrees for 10 minutes, and we'll see you when they come out of the oven. Okay, let's get our cookies out of the oven. Aren't they pretty? Here's your cookies.
My milk.
And your milkies. They're chocolate mint.
Very hot.
Well, no kidding. They just came out of the oven, greedy guts.
Very good.
How's the mint?
Subtle. Good job, Mama.
Thank you. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, yay, another successful Christmas cookie.